Don Quixote do Flamingo. The pretty good deck of OP09, I would say. Right? And there's a list going around there. A lot of lists are synonymous. You can probably put in take out four different cards. Right? This last weekend, they went 10-0 on an online treasure cup. But I have taken that deck and went 0-3 at my usual local at a 19-man. It's actually really weird that we only had 19 players. We always have at least 30. But I guess, dead game. How is that possible? And reality is, guys, I have been kind of struggling a lot lately, especially when it comes to just staying focused in the game. And I am playing just way too fast. I'm playing way too many different decks, and I'm not focusing a lot on improving and actually learning from my mistakes. And one thing I've been trying to do for this month of February in improvement is actually record a lot of my games and then upload my games and then show them to you guys. I've been doing that on live stream with the hand cam, which has been actually really fun. But, I actually learn a lot about each matchup and just learning my deck and realizing that Blue Doflamingo, if you make one or two mistakes, it could lead to a loss. That's a lot of decks, right? And I believe it's still just a great deck because, well, I did lose because of me, not because of the deck. So I want to just keep that forward. If you guys do join my Discord, put down, review your games. You can review my games if you like. You can post your stuff to review your games. I'm actually going to be going over this video, over the 3 games that I lost at locals. And I didn't lose because I had bad matchups. I lost because I chose to do the wrong turn order. I chose to play the wrong card, and I chose to I realized I should have maybe attacked in a slightly different order, and I got punished for it. And so everything went right for them. I don't think a lot of things went wrong for me, right? I think I just mostly made misplays, and let's go over those games right now. I'm going to be doing these games in like a 1.5 speed, and going from that, really no audio. I'll put some music on in the background and just kind of commentating and having a little note on the side of where my mistakes were. All right, game 1. First of all, I won the die roll, and then I didn't know what to do. I chose to go second, and realistically, going second just kind of, I don't think that was exactly a great play, right? I think going first is just better. I can keep the pace if I go second. I'm actually just not being aggressive. And my first starting hand is okay. I think it's definitely mulliganable, but it has the 1-drops that I want. And it caused a couple 4/6s and a teach. So I keep it because of the teach, the cards I can call off a teach, and then the buggy, which gets me started on my first turn. It could be actually probably better. Let me know if you guys would mulligan that. Okay, so the turn off, they ended up playing down to Lafitte. And from there, I just play down a buggy. With buggy, I look at top 3. I kind of set it up so I just draw and play a card off the top of the deck, being not the crocodile 52k. I'd rather just draw the crocodile. End up using Lafitte and getting out a Von Augur. They're showing me out they have a Von Augur, which, I should probably just take note of. I don't even think I took note of that. They discarded an event, and then discarding that event, they made it so I couldn't use on plays, and then KO'd the buggy and swung 5 at me, which I take. I think it's fine to take this one because I just need fuel. So I go to my next turn, and then I go 7 at their leader. I pay 1, and then pay another 1 for the Sengoku. And I swing at the Lafitte. Now, realistically, I probably should just swing at the Doc Q, because the Doc Q plus its Von Augur. This is basically my first mistake. Second mistake, really. But I should just swing and kill the Doc Q. It's really troll that I didn't do that, actually. But here we are. They swing 5 at this, and then I decide to counter out. And then they just play the Von Augur and also use leader skill, so I get locked out. And you know, to be honest, I think I just didn't notice they searched for Von Augur, and that's just me not noticing. I need to keep track of what my opponent's playing. So you could say this is like very warranted to seeing pretty good stuff. I kill that card right there. They draw a card again. I wouldn't say that's exactly a mistake, right? I kind of wish I had a Raging Tiger so I can just ignore it. That's generally what most people do. They just ignore those cards. But I ended up playing the Teach because I don't know what the top of my deck is anymore. And then I used the skill just to swing a total of, 9. I swing 9 at that character there. Playing out the Weevil. And then I just pay 1 for a Buggy just to get a body out there. And then now I have 2 2Ks and a Weevil in my hand. My opponent, they go to their 7 Dawn turn. They're at 5 life. They have a big hand. It's just like very ideal. I didn't use Raging Tiger. I walked right into the other stuff. They get the Black Hole. Black Hole is going to work out real well here. And from this, they just decide to swing 7 on the Weevil. I give them a 2K. And they actually Black Hole the Teach. The Teach ends up being a problem in the long run for them, so it's just fine. They've got to use leader skill. They would have been fine. I would have let them use that, but they just use leader skill then. And he puts out dice in the middle just for, Jesus's. So no Raging Tiger, which I would consider unlucky play. I go to my 9 Dawn turn, and I'm thinking, well, they're at 5 life. I need to start, pressuring down a little bit. Hopefully their hand's not too crazy. They are not using Searchers. I swing 7. They take it. They get a pretty lucky finger gun out of there. So I kind of want to build a board now. I kind of get a Teach randomly, which is pretty juicy, to be honest. Using Teach here and placing the Buggy would be great, but I need to get out another body. So they go to their 9 Dawn turn. And knowing I only have 2 cards in hand, they want to kill the Teach, obviously, with their leader. And they think here for a while. They need to eventually set up, the thing that's going to make them win the game. What wins the games is that's the 4-drop, right? Jesus Burgess is the winning card. So I'll skip forward a little bit. They swing 8 at that. They pay 4 for the Jesus, and they leave 2 Dawn up. And I know this card exists. There's a card I'll kind of put on the screen here now, but I wasn't sure what it did. I thought it was just a counter card, but it actually KOs a card. So this is like mistake number 4 that I make in this game, is that I swing first leader 7, revealing, just blind looking that, and then they count how many cards they have in trash. They have exactly 15 with this card. If you have 15 or more, so it's exactly 15 with this card, and then they get to KO a 4 cost, which sucks. I could have swung with that first and then swung with leader, probably KOing it anyway, but I lost out on a swing, which really sucks, and I really need to get my opponent down now. So I decided to just swing 5/5 and then play another 1-drop and then pass turn. So I've established no board control. My board is still Y, which actually is what's keeping me in this game. But I lost out in a whole swing, which is, counter out of my opponent's hand, which really sucks. So they 10-drop, making so I can't swing with the Law, which is fine. Swing, kill Buggy. Swing, kill 1-drop. And then obviously they need the leader skill. They'll pitch a bad card and pass turn. Mistake number 5 here. I decide just to swing 14, paying 1 at their leader. I'm trying to get them down. I actually think I should kill the Jesus here. Just swing at the Jesus. They have to pick between their Teach and their Jesus. The Jesus dies, and then they don't have something that can just kill a card every turn. Makes it kind of annoying for them, actually. But I do need to get them to 0, but at some point. They swing, kill that, obviously. 10 drop, stun that. And then, they kind of kill me at some point. They swing 12 at me and then 5 at me, right? That's the main thing. Obviously, they could swing 5 first, but that's just what it was. And they already used leader skill to begin the turn, so I am unplayed. And I had to just straight up put my opponent to 0 and then hope they really can't do anything. And then this time, I don't want them to block 2k, 1k out of it. I need them just to take it so I can maybe kill them the next turn. So they take this one and pass turn, and I have only 5k counter in hand. I'm going to skip over this last part. Basically, we do like a whole lot of math deciding, well, he can't really decide. He has to go for the game. So we kind of just do the mental math. Guys, if I'm at 3 life and they have 4 attackers, you want to kind of math it out. I have 4 cards in hand. I could have 8k counter, but let's just assume I don't have 8k counter. You don't want to go evens. You want to go progressive scale. So they swung 10, 12, 13. Actually, maybe 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. I don't know. It was pretty good. The 14 was insane at the very end there. So they couldn't reach out. But that's essentially the end of game 1, and these are all my mistakes, you guys can see. That's how, if you're playing Blue Doph, this is how you lose to a Teach. Not paying attention and honestly just prioritizing the wrong cards at the wrong time. And also not paying attention to the new 2-drop event that people just never played before. All right, game 2 at locals. We're both 0-1. My opponent is playing purple, yellow, Robin. And as you can see, my starting hand, I actually lose a dice roll. They choose to go first. Here's my starting hand. I think going second, this hand has a lot of merit to keep. I really don't think there's anything bad about this hand. It's not high rolling. I think I need to see Jinbeis, which maybe might be the thing to mulligan for, but I have like all the other options. I really don't think this is a bad keep. Let me know if you guys wouldn't keep that hand in those shoes. But with that, we're gonna go to this first turn, give the old fist bump. They do a good old pass turn. I play down a Perona, and with the Perona, I look at the top 5 cards here. I have a lot of teaches going on. I do want to use leader skill at some point pretty quickly to get things going. So draw, leader skill, draw, leader skill. That seems to be the synopsis right here. Draw, leader skill, draw, leader skill. Because you're going to draw off of the Weevil, right? If we're playing this right. But it kind of leaves up to interpretation. And the Raging Tiger, it kind of sucks that we have these events in hand actually don't help us at all. So they swing 8 at me. I don't want to counter out of it. It's just too many cards, and I get the banished life out there. Then I just attach 3 to lead, swinging 8, playing the Weevil, drawing 1. And they hit a Nami. Well, hey, some opponents just got to get lucky, bro. But they have a lot of triggers in the deck that can get rid of 4 costs. So they hit a good trigger to begin with, and they swing big again. Only 5, and I get rid of the banish, and they banish my life anyway with the 6-drop, which, pretty dang good. And unfortunately, I don't have a Jozu just to remove their 6 cost with that. So I know at the top of my deck, it does have that the 4-drop that can recur a card, but I actually decided to go a different route so I can set up for my next turns. Because it's really good to play and use this at any point, and Teach just good to use in your later turn, so I might really want to keep that. So I swing 7, and drawing a card off of that, and passing turn. I now have, 6 cards in hand, plenty of counter. My opponent only has the 6-drop, but my opponent's at 9 Dawn. And really, I mean, that deck has to go in survival mode, okay? They do swing 6 at me. I just counter out of it, and then they swing 6 at the Weevil, which I give them a 1k. Which maybe they should just swing 6 at my leader, get another 2k in my hand. And then they put Katakuri down, put Robin in life. I was asking, what does that do? It lets you call out like a 3 cost or less from your hand as trigger. Which is pretty good. There's blockers, right? Blockers and other cool things. So I'm thinking that they're going to be playing that the other Robin card So I think for 7, they take it and they just play out the blocker, and I think, oh, this is great. I can play a card and then potentially use Jimbei. Use Teach to pick up that, but I actually did do something a little bit differently. I just used the Law right away. Okay, pick up the Perona, and then I use the Teach, put that down. I could have done that. Yeah, I could have done that differently. That'd have been more fun to do that way. So then I go 7 at lead, paying 1, revealing that, and then I go ahead and recur out a 2k counter so I can counter my bodies to keep them alive. So they take it, they have the Robin, they play the 3-drop blocker back down again. Really silly, and then I think to myself, well, I kind of wanted to play this 1-drop out, but you know what? Let's just swing 5. Let's get another card out of your hand. You only have 3 in hand. Scoot you back down to 2, and then you'll play another card out. So my opponent deliberates here for some time. They're at 10 Dawn now. They skilled up pretty quickly. They swing 5 at my Teach. I decided to let it go because it's just so small of an attacker. 8 there. I give him 2Ks. And I have only 1/1K, and I kind of want it to use it next turn for things. They play the Yamato, which just, kills my 6K guy anyway. And then they gain a life. And then they debate here to swing with their blocker for some time, but they don't. So ended up just working out there. I play out the Perona. I'm hoping for some sort of awesome Law here. And I don't get that. I actually get baited here pretty bad. Honestly, I should just do a recur card here. But I decide to play the worst card in the situation, which is a Jimbei. Jimbei, too late in the game, actually just eats up your hand. And really, if I don't need it, I don't need it. I should have realized I'm probably putting him to 0 this turn. He has 2 cards in hand. And if he doesn't have another life gainer, I'm going to win the next turn. So from here, I decide to do this, the absolute wrong thing. Okay. And down top of my deck. I'm going to skip through a little bit here, and I swing 7 at them. They take the 7. They do have 1 Dawn up in case, they need that at all. I go another 7 at them. They block that. Yep. And then I decide to go 9 at them, paying 1, revealing a Jimbei. I think about this for way too long. I am thinking if I want to actually play out a card. I shouldn't play out this card in the rare chance that they play down a Rusher and kill me, like any Rusher, because I have no counter in hand. But I want to make sure I guarantee to win. I don't need to do that at all. I'm just afraid of them recurring a life and doing whatever, but they're at 0 life. They can't Yamato me. So it's just very obnoxious that I did this. So I chose the absolute wrong play to do. And, I get punished for it. My opponent, then thinks here just for a few short moments. They swing 8 at me with Banish. I obviously take it. I guess I swing 5 with Banish. And then they pay 7 with Sanji. Swinging 7 with Sanji, which I can't counter out of. I get a 2K. See, if I had the Crocodile, I would have been able to swing counter out of that, and then this. So I make the biggest mistake of just putting down the Crocodile when I need to survive. So that's kind of how that game went. If you guys can tell from this game, number 1, losing the dice roll is never great, but just kind of going through the game real quick. I set the deck in a weird order. They hit good triggers, which is fine, so they had to have some good things happen with them. I played out things in a fine order, I thought, from there. But then I think I failed right basically at the end here when I used Jimbei to call out the Croc. So don't call those out. Don't call those out. All right, and my final game I play against a purple Luffy. We're both 0-2, not feeling so good. I decided to keep this hand. This is my mistake number 1. I'm thinking, oh, dude, if I can see 1 Jimbei, I can just do all the work. Why not just mulligan for the Jimbei? Come on, this is a mulligan hand. I really did not take time to think about this. This is a mulligan hand or not. This is a straight up mulligan hand. I am straight up trolling. If I see Jimbei, I'm a genius. If I don't see Jimbei, I'm an idiot. So, and that's my main complaint here. So, with that, I actually, when the die roll, I go first, and I do not see a Jinbei. So, with the top 5 of my deck here, which I'll kind of spread out here, and I make another big mistake here because he's going only to 2 Dawn, thinking he has a 2 Dawn out there already. I think he's already going to 4 Dawn for some reason. So I already just didn't think about that. I need to just use leader skill, call out the boa, swing 8, right? And then the next turn, then think about having the law on top. So, but I ended up draw, play law, which was like extra useless, right? But really I should draw, play the boa, and then maybe consider a law or that. So with that, my opponent just plays out the law, grabs a Zoro Juro. So now I know they have a 4 Dawn play, and I'm like, wow, I stacked this all wrong. I'm still going to commit to it, right? So we'll swing 7 at my opponent. Playing 1, I'm going to pick up my Perona, and I'm going to choose to think about it. Do I pick up the law? Do I pick up my own law? I don't know. Nah, I'll keep it on the field. And I'll get punished later, and then I'll pass to you. And they're like, okay, sounds good. So with that, they'll swing 5 at me. I will get rid of that, and then end up using getting a Usahachi, and they do ramp on this turn, which is a little interesting. But I end up drawing another 1-drop. And I'm thinking, you know what? I kind of need fodder. Let's see if I can get another law here. And I do get the law, thinking that's actually pretty juiced to put the 4-drop in their hand. And I have a pudding. Now, realistically, I made a big mistake here. I could have just played around pudding. Pudding should be my priority. So I should law the next turn, play pudding, and then you swing 7 with leader playing a boa. But I decided to do it with the buggy. And that was, again, I need to think about this just for like, 30 seconds. I need to slow down. So I swing 6 at my opponent, swing 7, play out the law, pick up this, bounce that. And my opponent just takes the damage. We go on from there, right? My opponent has big hand. They give me 1k counter. I give 1k counter, and they play, the go-to combo. Luffy Taro, Sangoro. Most purple Luffys would say, hey, I just won the game, right? We already did it. And I actually have ways of beating them, but I decided, oh, shoot, I don't have this. I don't have that. The law doesn't work here. I can't even put in your own hand just to eat you up. So I'm going to do, what's the next worst thing to do? 7, 7 with leader, playing out the boa. Really, it's going to be 8 with leader. And I know this kind of story all too well. Draw the pudding, and then play out either, I think I'm going to have the gecko play out the next time. Then just play that out. So I'm going to draw the gecko and then actually play the 4-drop blocker. So I give him a 1k counter for that. He's swinging at my 6k, so they're making a lot of mistakes here. Swinging at the 6k instead of the 5k here. But then they end up playing another Luffy Taro, and this time a Zoro 4-drop, which, is pretty good. I'm going to skip through this. They end up grabbing, I believe, sorry if this looks kind of messy, guys, the 1-drop event. So I know they have a 1-drop event now. So they're very defensive, and I can't win the board at this point. I can tell myself I'm at 5 life. I need to go for their game. I'm just going to hit their face. I can maybe play out a card. I know it's on top of my deck, so really swing 7, 7, 7, 7. That's what I'm doing. So I'll swing 7, play out the boa, stack this right, put a Dawn on one of my other bodies. So I put Dawn on this, and then I'll swing 7 at the leader, and I'm just trying to get them down and get the other cards out. I swing 7 again. They use the event, draw some cards, and then I swing another 7. And they had so much counter. They really did. They had an insane amount of counter past turn. So that pudding would have really helped out earlier, right? Making a lot of excuses. Guys, I have 5 guys on board. My opponent's at 0 life. It really can't be that bad. Other than I only have 1k counter in my hand. It hurts so bad. They could just use everything on their board to clean my board and play a blocker. And so they swing 5. I could have countered out of that. It's fine. Swing 5. Couldn't counter out of that. Swing 8. I couldn't counter out of that. Swing 6. I actually do counter out of that. And then they swing 8. Wait, did they swing 8 twice there? what's the sequence here? 5, 6, 8, 6, 8, dead. And then they thought about this for a minute, actually, and they put 5 Dawn on this, swung 7, I can't count out of that, and then play a blocker. I don't have the cards to get rid of it. It sucks. This really sucks. I think I just play out 2 cards and pass, like, to be honest. So I play out this first, grab the boa, play out the boa, top 3, organize whatever. I'm thinking, really, I'll just do the boa again. I should just do the boa, but I end up just doing the law for some reason. Not necessary. And I just, actually, what I do is I pick up the law, and they pick up their Joro, and I pass turn again. You know, putting cards in their hand is kind of fine defensively. I just didn't want them to, like, end the game, I suppose. My opponent again thinks here, I need to be able to defend out of this. This is kind of ridiculous. So I just take the damage because I have to take the damage going down to 0 or going down to 2 life right away. My hand's pretty juiced now, and they end up playing out a blocker, picking up a 4-drop. So now they only have 4 Dawn left after all of that. And with that 4-drop, they pick up another event. So now I know they have 2 events, and I only thought they only had 1. They have 4 Dawn left, and they pass turn to me, and I'm like, okay, they have 2 events. That gets them up to pretty big, so I kind of have to force out the events. I actually should just thought, oh, I actually can't win this game because of that event. So again, I have bad tracking on my hand. So definitely, you guys need to track your stuff. I know there's a bow on top of my life, so using the Dawn is just fine here. And, you know, I end up just swinging 9, paying 1, playing out the boa, getting the rest of the Dawn. And I end up putting that on my leader so they can't use the event, or on the boa, which is actually weird because I may not want to use the boa so I can survive the other turn. I swing 5 at them. They actually have to use the event because they don't have any counter in their hand. And then I swing a total of 13 at them. And they ended up just using, I'm skipping this. They used 2 events plus a 2K. And then I pass turn, guys. I pass turn. I really do. So my opponent there, and we think it out for a moment. And we go from here. Actually, I think I think my opponent basically did something a little interesting here. And I think you know what? I think I may have lied. I think I actually should have won this game because my opponent didn't go for the game. I just femered and then killed them. But in my mind, I lost because I asked them, let's go back. Okay, let's go back. How would you kill me? Let's say I have no board. You're ignoring my board, obviously, right? You just swing 7. 5. Yeah. He just swings even numbers at me and it kills me. So I guess I actually did win 1 game. So this is kind of a lie of a video. One win, 2 losses. My opponent didn't decided not to go for the game. I had a femur, but reality is we kind of went back and was like, okay, yeah, I would have lost if we just kind of went for game. But I guess technically I won. But my opponent was just so kind enough to hope I didn't have a femur off the top of the deck. But yeah, that was the last game. Thank you all so much for watching that video. Make sure you guys like if you're liking the content, subscribe if you want to see more. Again, thank you all. I really want to improve right now because I'm just struggling. I'm just losing a lot more. I know losing is a part of One Piece. It's kind of a thing that can happen and getting in a down slump, and I feel like I'm in a big down slump lately. But I appreciate you all still being here for me. But see you all in the next video. Ciao.